morning, Athens, and welcome to Education Matters, celebrating 15 years as the official voice of the youth. Education Matters is sponsored by Drug Free Athens, helping to prevent substance abuse by youth. Ellison's Professional Services. When it comes to your tax return, go with who you know. Ellison's Professional Services. And your local internet station, MEURadioAthens.com. My name is Aiden Dowdy, and joining me in the studio are
Aiden Stevens,
Joshua Henderson,
with our guest, Tiffany Taylor, and today we are talking about community and youth involvement. But before we start, I will give us our words to grow on. The words to grow on are: the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by compassion actions of its members. These words were said by Coretta Scott King. But before we hop into today's show, Aiden will give us our history fact.
long before Europe's Renaissance, African civilizations held some of the world's most advanced centers of education. In Timbuktu, Mali, the University of Sankore thrived with scholars studying mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and law, housing hundreds of thousands of manuscripts. In Egypt, the temples of Kemet served as universities where philosophy, science, and the arts were taught. This body of knowledge deeply influenced Greek thinkers like Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle. During the Moorish presence in Spain, African Muslim scholars reintroduced Europe to classical knowledge, advanced mathematics, medicine, and architecture, laying a foundation for the European Renaissance. George J. M. James, the Geniuses-born scholar who later taught at colleges in the U.S., argued in his landmark 1954 book, Stolen Legacy, that Greek philosophy was largely derived from Egyptian philosophy. James contended that his African intellectual heritage was synthetically erased or mimetized in mainstream history, even though it directly shaped European thought and the cultural revival of the Renaissance.
Thank you to my dog, Aiden. So, Miss Tiffany Taylor, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for the community?
Yes. So I'm Commissioner Tiffany Taylor. I was born and raised in Athens-Clarke County. I am a 2006 Cedar Shows graduate. Oh my goodness, Aiden, that's so messy.
Go Blacks.
And I'm coming up on my 20th year anniversary. That's how you do me? That's messed up. But yeah. That tickled me. I love it.
That's okay. I forgive you now.
Because you guys are future glass, right?
I believe so.
Okay. Shade. But it's so good. It's okay. I forgive you guys. So everybody went to Clark Central? You went to Clark Central too? So then nobody warned me before I came up in here. Oh, okay. It's okay.
You in a room full of the ops.
It's totally fine. It's okay. But graduated 2006 from Cedar Shows. I'm a mother of 5. I have a really large family. All of my family still resides here in Athens. A few cousins have moved away. What else? I'm the elected official for District 3, which is Inner East Athens and Winterville, which is the same district that I was born and raised in. And so I now represent that area. And I also am the executive director of Mothers of Black Sons. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we do mentoring for young Black men. Having 4 sons myself, I know the significance in one daughter. I know the significance of representation. And so the mission for Mothers of Black Sons is that we pair young Black men up with prominent men of the community, African American men of the community, so that they can see the outcome of what hard work and what prosperity looks like for a Black man. I feel like if you see it, you can be it. And so I know that for my sons. And so that's why I created Mothers of Black Sons. I wanted to be able to have that same type of effect on my cousin's sons or my best friend's sons. So I'm more surrounded by Black men than I am Black women. I have only one niece and I have a lot of nephews. And they have a lot of friends. So I'm always surrounded by young Black men. And so Black Boy Joy is my joy. And my daughter's joy is my joy as well, even though she's not listening. But it's I feel like it's okay to give love to young Black men as teenagers, as young men, despite whatever stigma is placed, no matter what environment they come from. Black men are resilient, strong, protectors, creators. And so that's what Mothers of Black Sons we look to do. We look to pour into our Black men. Yeah.
Okay. So what inspired you to run for commissioner of District 3?
So I was born and raised in the area. And now that I'm raising my children, nothing has really changed. Like, I felt like Athens is growing at a rapid pace. In inner East Athens, we aren't getting the same type of growth. We aren't getting the same type of services. Services are being pulled. Funding is being pulled. The environment, no job opportunities, no opportunities for economic development within the area. And so I said, who better to represent us than us? Representation matters. I'm the fruit of inner East Athens. I am literally the fruit of inner East Athens. And what I mean by that, Aiden, is that when I was a little girl, that's all I knew. Now that I'm 37, that's still all that I know. And so I want to make it better for the youth that's coming up in the area, because I know that we can be whatever we strive to be, because I never knew I was going to be the commissioner, less known the commissioner on the east side. So, it's a full circle moment for me to be able to represent the area that I saw my grandmas rise to the occasion of not even being elected, not even having a title, but knowing their places in taking care of the community, taking care of young moms, taking care of, your neighbor, because that's what community is. And so I just want to be able to bring that back and be a representation of that in City Hall. So,
okay. And with that, with some of your personal experiences as being the commissioner of District 3, what has shaped your leadership style?
So I still say that I'm a resident. I get tickled when people address me like, "Hey, Commissioner Taylor." It tickles me because to me, even though I am an elected official, I still feel like I have that position as a resident to be able to tell my colleagues what we need. I don't think that we need anyone to tell us what's best for us but us. And that's my position as commissioner. I talk to my constituents. I know what they need. They tell me what they need, and I take it to City Hall and I get it done. And it's because we deserve it. When we decided to unify, which was a long time ago, I was little. But when we decided to unify, there were promises made to the Black community of Athens-Clarke County, East Side particularly, that we have yet to receive. And so having a youth like me to have grown up in the community and now represent it, it can't get no better than that. Like, I'm just I am empowered by that alone. So.
Okay. And what issues have you fixed or planning on fixing in the East Side community?
So affordable housing was and still is a major issue in Athens-Clarke County because we're growing and everything is getting higher and we don't pay a livable wage. No one really pays a livable wage.
A carton of eggs is $5 for 6 eggs.
I'm gonna have to introduce you to some of my friends in the nonprofit circle, get you some eggs. But you're absolutely right. Everything is expensive. And so we got the ARPA fund. So being able to vote for funds to go to places like Athens Land Trust and Habitats for Humanity and for East Athens Development Corporation to be able to build houses, to be able to partner with the Athens Housing Authority to get affordable housing for home ownership opportunities, because in East Athens we do rent a lot, and the pathway to generational wealth is through home ownership. And so I feel like there should be opportunities for us to at least get that within our home. So championing affordable housing, making sure that our youth have places that they can go, outlets. So I was instrumental in getting the satellite properties open for the Boys and Girls Club to be able to go into Nellie B, into Broad Acres, into Parkview, all the places where children couldn't get to the Boys and Girls Club. I felt like for them, in order for them and my colleagues, not just me, just my colleagues too, in order for our children to get the exposure that they need, even if they can't leave that community, let's bring it to the community. I don't feel like that's hard. I find a lot in my job as an elected official is the fact that a lot of things has always been done that way, but it hasn't been effective. But because it's always been done that way, that's the route that's usually chosen and often traveled. And so when you kind of disrupt those things or question those things, it's like, well, we've always done it this way. But that's why we're still in the same problem that we're in now from when I was a little girl.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a question for you. So, what's your big dream for our community or the inner East Athens community?
For us to get opportunities to be economically sustainable, we need a grocery store. We need a grocery store so that we can have fresh fruits and vegetables. We need a grocery store for job opportunities for residents, for teenagers, for grandmas, so that they can walk to the store, so that we don't have to travel more than a mile. We are in a food desert. We don't have fresh fruits and vegetables within a mile within inner East Athens, which puts us in a food desert. Not only that, we have a dollar store, and all of that food is overly processed. So not only are we in a desert, but we're in a swamp because we are surrounded by things that are just not good for us. And we need a grocery store. We do have a dollar store on Winterville Road.
Oh, that dollar store. I thought you were talking about a dollar store that closed in Rock Spring.
Yeah, and I hated that closed, the Dollar Tree.
You see my candy store back in the good old days.
I know. I can see that. It was a quick turnout for me too. But for us to be, all of the things that my community was promised when we unified are the things that I want to fight for. The sewer line should be extended. Those things were promised. We should get affordable trash out past Hallmark. Those things were promised. We deserve those things because that was promised to us, and I'm going to fight for those things. And I think, and it goes back to representation, because I know that these are the things that my grandmas was promised, my great grandma were promised. I'm going to fight for those things for my children to be able to work, to have them, to have access to them. Not only that, but other children as well. I pride myself on being one of the children who benefited from a giveaway, who benefited from a sack lunch, because it always keeps me humble. And I raise my children the same way. My children are always at give backs with me because I want them to know that this could be you at any given moment. It was me. I was in that line, and now I'm on the other side of that line, being able to provide. And so I want my children to know that. I want the boys within my organization to know that. Like, nothing is given to us. Everything that we have gotten as African Americans, we've had to fight for it. And I know a lot of Athens Black history isn't spoken about a lot, but there were Black people in Athens that was really doing it, that were really landowners, that was really innovators, that really don't get talked about. And I think we do them a disservice when we grow up in this community and we abandon a lot of the things that they work hard and built.
She came to play today.
I did come to play.
Okay, and then what are some of your proudest accomplishments since taking over office?
My proudest accomplishments, getting those satellite services in the housing authority complexes. That was a proud moment. I've won a few awards, and I'm pretty proud of those. I was awarded the Game Changer Award. I think it was like the top 30 40 under 40. So, and being able to serve my community. I love that. I love going into the school and say, I'm a commissioner. They're like, you capping. No, I'm not. I'm really a commissioner.
She not new to this. She true to this.
Yeah,
True.
right. Tried and true. So that's really proud for me to be able to go into those spaces and sit amongst moms as well. This is my disguise. People don't, they don't take two looks to notice like, hey, she's an elected official. And so I feel like that also keeps me grounded enough to do the work that needs to be done and not get so jaded about the lights and the authority that comes with having a title.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back after a quick run of commercials.
Welcome to the Athens Community Career Academy, located on the historic H.G. Edwards campus in Athens, Georgia. Our program's mission is very simple: to provide expansive opportunities for students to achieve educational and career goals while meeting local and regional workforce needs. A few of our students would like to share some thoughts on their time at ACCA.
The one thing that I like about Career Academy is the freedom and the amount of opportunities we are given.
I like the Career Academy because the administration try really hard to show that they care and give you whatever you need to succeed.
My favorite thing about the Career Academy is that we learn employability skills that we miss out on in high school.
The Career Academy is awesome because I get to have an internship, take college classes, and meet amazing people.
For more information, go to www.clark.k12.georgia.us/ACCA. Apply today at bit.ly/ACCA app.
This is Juice Arabia with an underage drinking myth and fact sponsored by Drug Free Athens. Myth: I can drink alcohol and not have any problems. Fact: if you are under 21 years old, alcohol is a big problem. It is illegal. Kids who drink are more likely to get poor grades in school and are at higher risk of being crime victims. That was an underage drinking myth and fact sponsored by Drug Free Athens. For more information on preventing youth substance abuse, go to drugfreeathens.org.
Fall is just around the corner, and so is your future. Athens Technical College is now accepting applications for the fall semester. With hands-on training and in-demand career paths, there is no better time to take the next step. Apply today at athenstech.edu/apply. Athens Technical College, career ready starts here, an equal opportunity institution.
Athens-Clarke County is one of the most food insecure communities in Georgia. Every night, thousands of Athenians, both young and old, go to bed lacking sufficient amounts of quality and nutritious food. It's a tragedy being addressed by the nonprofit organization Feed My Sheep Ltd. Once a week, the members of Feed My Sheep Ltd. deliver food to the homes of people in need. If you or someone you know is in need of quality nutrition, call Feed My Sheep Ltd. at 706-850-6499. That's 706-850-6499. Feed My Sheep Ltd. It's more than serving food, it's serving God.
You're still here with Education Matters, celebrating 15 years as the official voice of the youth. My name is Aiden Dowdy, and joining me in the studio are
Aiden Stevens
and Joshua Henderson.
And you're still here with our guest, Miss Tiffany Taylor, and we are still talking about community and youth involvement. But before we start, Aiden will give us our word of the week.
The word of the week is Ubuntu, a Southern African philosophy and term meaning I am because we are. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all people, mutual care, and community responsibility. It is from Nigu, Bantu languages of Southern Africa. The concept gained international recognition through leaders like Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela. Commissioner Tiffany Taylor advocacy for youth programs reflects the spirit of Ubuntu. knowing that the well-being of one person depends on the well-being of the whole community. That was a sentence example. Now Aiden will give us our scholarship of the week.
The scholarship name is Ron Brown Scholarship Program, or RBSP. The Ron Brown Scholarship Program honors the legacy of the Ron Brown, the first African American U.S. Secretary of Commission, who was known for his dedication to public services, economic empowerment, and expanding opportunities for African Americans. This scholarship was established in 1996 after passing RBSP as award for more than $3 million in scholarship to outstanding African American students across the nation. You can get up to $4,000 total, meaning $10,000 per month for 4 years towards college expenses, with additional access to leadership development, networking, and mentoring from accomplishing professionals. Eligibility requirements. Citizenship: U.S. citizens or permanent residents. Ethnicity: must identify as Black or African American. Education level: high school seniors at the time of application. Academic standing: demonstrating academic excellence, typically a GPA of 3.3 or higher. No minimum. Score required, but strong scores help. Leadership and services: provide leadership in school, community, or extracurricular activities. Financial need: must demonstrate significant financial need. Application components: 1. Completed online application form at ronbrown.org. High school transcript. 3. 2 recommendation letters, at least one from a teacher or school counselor. 4. 2 essays. Topic focuses on leadership, community service, and future goals. 5. List an extracurricular activity, award, or community service. 6. Optional standard test scores. SAT or ACT. Deadline: November 1st, 2025. Eligibility for certain internships and networking opportunities. Final deadline: January 9th, 2026. Whew, that was a lot.
You did good, Aiden. I felt like my grandma when I looking at you when I recite the Easter play.
What's that?
Back in church. What?
Oh, I didn't let you finish. That's why. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. That's how proud I was of you. Just like how my grandma was proud.
Man, the way you looked at me had me so scared. I thought I done said something crazy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I made that look.
Good God. So, how would you describe your vision for District 3 over the next 5 years?
Thriving. Thriving with a safe community. With opportunities for housing, opportunities for jobs. We have some opportunities that's coming up in District 3. We have the largest industrial complex, which means all of the businesses are in District 3 as far as like your plants, far in the back. And so just making those connections with our residents as well as with our business owners, making our streets safer for our children, for our youth, getting more involved with the youth. I love pouring into the youth because y'all are the future. Like, y'all are going to be commissioner, y'all are going to be mayor, y'all are going to be governor. And so I think it's very important that we pour into you now, that we let you know how worthy you are and how much we need you for the future. And by doing that, we have to pour into you. We have to expose you to new things. We have to love on you and tell you it's okay to not be okay, to not conform to the things that we see now with social media and different things like that. And so in the next few years, my vision for Inner East Athens as well as Winterville. I don't want to leave out Winterville. I was a Winterbee. So when I was younger, the kids on the east side went to Winterville Elementary, and now I got in school. So I crazy rode the bus to Winterville. But just for us to have the opportunities that outsiders come into Athens for. I feel like the residents of Athens should have first dibs to whatever opportunities Athens-Clarke County have to offer, and whatever is left over and whatever else can be reused or whatever, then we give it to the outsiders. I know that probably sounds crazy, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for it, but I'm very much homegrown, and I feel like charity starts at home. We have to make sure home is okay first. And so I'm just going to explore every avenue to do that.
Okay. And how do you stay connected to the needs and concerns in the Athens community?
Because I still literally live over there. I go to the dollar store like almost every day. I'm always out. I'm never not. Maybe I have a disadvantage from my colleagues because I pretty much know, or my family knows residents. Like, I'm just older now. I'm just not a child anymore. And so I'm very approachable. They tell me what they need and I fix it, do it.
Okay. And then what are some of the most common issues or concerns you hear from residents in District 3, and what are you doing to fix them?
So, property taxes. We have a lot of growth in inner East Athens because we are landlocked everywhere else in Clarke County. And so inner East Athens is prime real estate because it's not very affordable. It's very affordable it's very affordable to live in inner East Athens. And so we have people, outsiders, out of state, realtor companies coming in, and local as well. They come up and buy all the land, and then they build new houses, and then the property taxes goes up for existing properties. So getting my constituents notable about, or notable is really not a good word, but to let them know about all of the resources that's available, whether through homestead exemptions or local nonprofits that's helping pay these things, rehab on old and existing properties. East Athens, we have a plethora of things, but it's nothing that I know it's attainable. I know all of the things that East Athens needs are things that Clarke County as a government can deliver. Extended sewer lines, a grocery store. We have issues with the quarry and blasting. So Athens-Clarke County owns the rock quarry, and the rock quarry is on Winterville Road. And it's about, God, it's so deep. I don't even know how deep it is, but the plan for the quarry is in 20 years to be a reservoir so that we never have to worry about drinkable water again. And so with that comes blasting, and the quarry has been there since the 80s. And so we have a lot of issues with the housing that's been there prior to the quarry being there and after, with foundational issues, and finding a way to get justice for those families who's put in a claim or who's looking to put in a claim to be able to get their houses fixed. What does that look like? So exploring those avenues, and to be honest, 8 and squared, I'm just a resident, so this is my first time in the political space because I went to school and I got a certification in medical assistant. So total, like, not in the political realm at all. But when you care about people, I feel like you serve them in any capacity, whether that's in the medical realm or politically, because we need them both. Yeah.
Okay, and what has been your foundation to where you are right now in District 3?
My family. My family is very much my foundation. My family and my community, because I'm not removed from my community at all. It's just like now I just have a different job. It's no different from working at a plant. I worked at a plant, so me now being the commissioner, it's just like really, Tiffany. And a lot of my friends don't really. Nothing has really changed, like, oh, she's the commissioner or whatever. It's just, we're just tickled by it, and we're also empowered by it, because who else should get the power besides someone born and raised to be able to advocate for the community, to be able to fight for the community, to stand up in rooms that my grandmas and my grandfathers were denied, to not be able to say that they need quality roads. Or my great grandmother, she has property on Real Art Street, and my dad told me a story about how she went to the city to ask them to pave Real Art Street, and they told her, well, you're going to have to pave it yourself. And she found black men to come and pave Real Art Street. Her land is still there today. When she died, she was 102. She was born in 1912 in Athens-Clarke County. And so it's in me, it's just literally in me, to want to serve East Athens. I was a little girl riding a bike over there. So I'm very protective of, it's my home.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell a time when kids' ideas have changed your plans in the Athens community?
Have changed my plans? My kids or kids in general?
Whichever one is better for you.
So I have 4 sons and 1 daughter. And my oldest sons are 17 and 16. Well, about a year and a half ago, my 15-year-old, Jacob, he was shot. And this was well into me being a commissioner. I think I was about 3 years in, because I'm about to run again. So it was about 3 years in, and Jacob was at a party, and they were playing with a gun, and the gun went off, and it hit Jacob in the chest. And so all of the advocacy that I've done prior to Jacob being shot, for me as a mom, as a commissioner, as well as working in the nonprofit space for African American men, I thought that I had exposed my son enough for him to know that if there's a gun present, you should leave, or, not to be playing with the gun, period. And so him being shot, and having to be in the hospital, all of these things that we went through. And for now, Jacob is 16 and he's in the RYDC in Rome, because he didn't learn from that situation. After he got shot, he went back to school, but then he was with his friends, and one of his friends shot into an apartment. Well, when you're with someone who shoots a gun, everyone gets in trouble. So Jacob was charged just like the shooter was charged, and Jacob was just there. And so as a mom, reflecting, like, what could I have done different as an advocate against gun violence, for young black men prosperity, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, hey, what was I missing? What didn't I catch that I try to help other moms catch or identify within their own sons? Starting all the way back over to zero. I'm in a new space of seeking. I think I was first serving from a place of thinking that I knew what it would be like, because I got black sons. So being a mother of black sons, it's fine for mentorship. But then sons get in trouble, and sons make decisions that requires a mother first and a commissioner second. And so the things that I was telling those moms that I was serving, it didn't serve me, because I was just so torn. Like I just knew that I knew, and I didn't. And so this journey has been long, and I've learned a lot. And so you never know, honey. You can expose your children, but life's. So I'm still learning it.
Thank you. We'll be right back after a quick round of commercials.
Drug-Free Athens strengthens our community by reducing substance use among youth.
Drug-Free Athens engages teens who want to spread the word about the importance of living healthy.
Drug-Free Athens offers substance abuse prevention education for students in grades 6 through 12.
Drug-Free Athens gives parents information on how substances impact their child's brain and where to find treatment options.
Drug-Free Athens makes our community a much better place to live and raise children. For more information about Drug-Free Athens, visit drugfreeathens.org.
After
Athens Technical College is ready to help you achieve more in your education and your career. Complete a technical certificate, diploma, or associate's degree in over 45 program areas. Hands-on classes can have you job ready in as little as 1 semester. If you're ready to achieve more, visit Athens-Tech.edu to learn about our programs, admissions, requirements, financial aid, and unit of the Technical College System of Georgia, equal opportunity institution.
Athens-Clarke County is one of the most food insecure communities in Georgia. Every night, thousands of Athenians, both young and old, go to bed lacking sufficient amounts of quality and nutritious food. It's a tragedy being addressed by the nonprofit organization Feed My Sheep Ltd. Once a week, the members of Feed My Sheep Ltd. Deliver food to the homes of people in need. If you or someone you know is in need of quality nutrition, call Feed My Sheep Ltd. at 706-850-6499. That's 706-850-6499. Feed My Sheep Ltd. It's more than serving food, it's serving God.
Are you tired of living with foot or ankle pain? At the Foot and Ankle Treatment Center, we've been providing exceptional podiatric care for over 10 years. Whether it's custom orthotics, advanced laser treatment, diabetic foot exams, or heel pain relief, we've got you covered. We're dedicated to getting you back on your feet, pain-free. Conveniently located at the 2410 Hog Mountain Road in Watkinsville, Georgia. We're here to take you to the next step towards better foot health. Call Dr. Donovan Galley and his staff today at 706-312-4288 or visit our website at www.georgiapodiatrycenter.com. The Foot and Ankle Treatment Center, because your feet deserve the best care. You're still here with Education Matters, celebrating 15 years as the official voice of the youth. My name is Aiden Stevens, and joining me in the studio are
Aiden Dowdy
and Joshua Henderson.
You're still here with our guest, Miss Tiffany Taylor, as we are talking about community and youth involvement.
So, Miss Tiffany Taylor, I know right before we went off break, you were talking about how your son had got shot. Can you tell us about the impact that had on you?
Yeah. So I was raised heavily on faith. So like I've mentioned my grandmas a lot during this interview. And so my first initial thought was like total shock. I am still really processing it, honestly, because it happened like a year ago, and for Jacob to be in the RYDC now, it's still kind of fresh. It some days it is very hard to not have all of your children under one roof, and as a mom, not being around your child or seeing your child every day. The thought that I could have lost my son, I think is what I grapple with the most, but that I'm also so grateful for, because it brought me, so Jacob getting shot really brought me closer to God, and it just reassured a lot of things that my grandma would say to me, about God and how good he is and how on time he is. And so Jacob getting shot, that was the only thing that I relied on. Like I didn't rely on anything else besides the promises of God. And so every day is not the same. Every day is different. Some days are better than others, especially with him being in the RYDC, him trying to prove himself sometimes, me getting phone calls sometimes, me worrying about the lasting mental effects that it'll have on him, because he still has PTSD from being shot. So he still has the nightmares, and he's seeing a therapist at the detention center now to cope with that. He was losing sleep, and so it was new to me, but it's so crazy because it's generational. Because one thing the women in my family, they aren't shy from that first row at the funeral home. I've seen, my grandma both grandmas bury sons, my aunts bury sons, and it's it's humbling, it's sad, it's all the things. But I'm grateful that I didn't have to bury Jacob. Beyond anything else, the fact that he's still here. I always reassure him. I saw him yesterday. We drove 3 hours, and just to see him, I haven't seen him in weeks. So to be able to see him, and to pray with him and to reassure him, because I never want him to lose hope. Like, this is where you're going to be stuck at. He's only 16. And so I always reassure him that, you're not your mistakes. This is what makes you. You learn from this, and you know that this isn't where you want to go. And younger children that could possibly go down this road. Now you have a testimony to be able to stop another child who wouldn't necessarily may not listen to me because I'm auntie, but will listen to Jacob because he's a lot cooler than me.
And closer in age.
There you go. That is just going to be his testimony. So I'm empowered by that.
Now, kind of, surviving and getting through that situation, what does the involvement with the youth in the community, especially particularly in your district, how important is that to you? What does that look like in your everyday life?
It's very important to me. I lost my uncle. He was 19. I lost him at 6 in Nellie B. And I am 3 minutes walking from Nellie B. So I'm just like one street over from Nellie B. So it's very important to me to advocate against gun violence because it's so prevalent in my community, not only now as an adult, but since I was a girl. I remember going to funerals of my uncle's friends before he was killed because they was, shooting. Right before I became commissioner, we had so many deaths of young Black men in Athens due to gun violence. And some of those mamas I know. Some of those babies, remember when their mom was pregnant with them. And so to not do anything, I don't ever want to be in a place where I have to bury my child. And for a second, I pleaded with God because I thought that's where I was going to be. And so I'm very intentional every day, whether that's, so I'm surrounded by boys all the time. So just pouring into them on a daily basis, letting them know that they're better than their circumstances, and also reminding them of the consequences. You're going to go to jail. You don't want to go to jail. Jail sucks. And jail is real. And worse things happen in jail than on the street. So don't get yourself in a position where you're going to go to jail and have to defend yourself for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, you got to tell them the real.
And with your trauma, how does that change your way of seeing the gun violence that is going on around the Athens community and in surrounding counties?
Because for me, when I got the phone call that get to the hospital, Jacob has been shot. For me in this position, it was always me having to just go and visit someone whose child had been shot. And then when it happened to Jacob, I was that person. And so I never want another mom, and I know I can't keep another mom from being in that position, but to be intentional with programming, to be intentional with policies, to be intentional with the funding of organizations, of whatever pilot, of housing, to make the environment better. If a child has somewhere safe to sleep at night, 9 times out of 10, he or she is not going to want to join a gang. I just want to make the burden of wanting to fit in just alleviate it just a little bit. I can't save the world. I'm not Superwoman. I don't want to fall on that sword. but where I can be of assistance, where I can meet a need for a family, where I can meet a need for a youth, then I just want to be that for that individual.
Okay.
Thank you.
And was this a recent event involving your son?
Yeah, so it's been about a year ago.
Okay. And I know since it's somewhat as a recent event, how did you go through with that? Like, how did you process that? What were you doing to try to like make sure that you don't find yourself in a dark place?
Being vulnerable. Surrounding myself with people who have been through that. I have a therapist. She looks just like me. She sounds just like me. And so she's going to be very honest. She's very honest with me. I pray a lot. I journal and I talk about it. Like, I'm not ashamed to say that I am an elected official and my son was shot at an Airbnb party. I'm not ashamed to say that. Because it shines a light for that mom who it also happened to, who didn't have a voice, who couldn't speak her truth. So now we open up the door for other moms to feel vulnerable enough to say, this happened to me. I raised my child the best that I could. It still happened to me, but we're going to keep it moving. We're not going to let it define us. He's just going to be a child with a gunshot wound.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, and you being a parent that has had to go through that, but knowing that you have had God by your side, because I know you mentioned that, and with you journaling, how does that make you feel going back to that journal to read about it?
It stops the overthinking, because as a mom and all the hats that I wear, I overthink too. Am I doing it right? Could I have done it better? Was there another way that it should have been done? But when I journal about it and I go back and look to see how far I've come from that previous entry, that's inspiring. That shows me that I've made some sort of strides. I don't feel that way anymore. Or there has been a solution to whatever I was journaling about. And I like to journal about being grateful for the things that I've overcome. Yeah, it keeps me steadfast.
Thank you.
What do you feel are some of the most important resources or things that we need to make available for the youth in our community?
So I think that the school district as well as the government, that we have dual responsibilities. We have dual responsibilities in making sure that programming is sufficient, that caters to all of our students, not just certain students, not just certain likes or interests, that we should explore all of our options, that it should be inclusive for all of our students, no matter what the race is, no matter what the economic background of your parents are. You shouldn't be limited to certain programs because you don't make this amount of money. I think that all students, all of our youth should get the same resources, whether that's therapy, whether that's youth sessions, whether that's empowerment sessions, whether it's just outings with just youth of a certain group, whether we go on exploratory trips, expose you guys to things that you don't necessarily get to see, because if you don't see it, you don't think that you can obtain it. But if you see it, then you know that you can, or at least you've been able to see it. And I say that as an adult too, because I've seen things that now that I've become a commissioner, like, I ain't never thought that I would be able to see that because it was never presented to me. I feel like it's very important that we present these things to our youth so that they know that it is possible. Yeah, I'm really big on the youth, y'all. I'm a mama. I'm an auntie.
So with you being with you being a mom, how much do you think that influences your judgment and what like can go through and what can't go through?
With my children or on the government side?
Both.
Okay, so with my children, my boys, I don't know, they try to pull the rug. They lie. I just said they tell half truths, and a lot of the time I have to find stuff out by just like snooping or not snooping, but kind of being in their business. And I try to always be in their business anyway. But with them being teenage boys, a lot of things kind of slip by me. But I make it my purpose to keep my parents involved. I rely heavily on my own parents. I would tell my parents on my kids. I know y'all looking at me crazy, but I would say I'm gonna call my mama. It straightens them right up. I mean, that's my go-to. My mom, man, she don't play the radio, and they know that. They can get over on me. But on the government side, I am going to rally my colleagues. I'm going to get it passed. Like, I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be proudful. But if it's important to me, I'm going to get my colleagues buy-in because it's important to my community. I'll never do anything outside of my community's knowledge. They'll never not know something that I'm doing because I think transparency is key. I think that that's the key, the key to being a trustworthy commissioner. Telling them what I'm doing and doing what they tell me to do so that they have confidence in me. I want them to have confidence in knowing that the person that they elected is who they can trust. So
Thank you. We'll be right back after a quick short run of commercials.
The Athens-Clarke County SAD chapter is now seeking new members in grades 9 through 12. SAD members serve as a statewide action team to address youth drug abuse. SAD is rewarding and lots of fun, but don't take my word for it. Hear it from our members.
Drug abuse.
Hello, my name is Jenna Wallace, and I served as a member of the Athens-Clarke County Students Against Destructive Decisions for 3 years while attending Cedar Shoals High School. I joined SAD because I wanted to be a positive influence for my peers. I really enjoyed being a part of SAD because I learned so much while also reaching out to others by informing them about drug and alcohol abuse.
Drug abuse.
To join the Athens-Clarke County SAD chapter, visit our Contact Us tab at www.drugfreeathens.org.
Athens-Clarke County is one of the most food insecure communities in Georgia. Every night, thousands of Athenians, both young and old, go to bed lacking sufficient amounts of quality and nutritious food. It's a tragedy being addressed by the nonprofit organization Feed My Sheep Ltd. Once a week, the members of Feed My Sheep Ltd. deliver food to the homes of people in need. If you or someone you know is in need of quality nutrition, call Feed My Sheep Ltd. at 706-850-6499. That's 706-850-6499. Feed My Sheep Ltd. It's more than serving food, it's serving God.
Are you tired of living with foot or ankle pain? At the Foot and Ankle Treatment Center, we've been providing exceptional podiatry care for over 10 years. Whether it's custom orthotics, advanced laser treatment, diabetic foot exams, or heel pain relief, we've got you covered. We're dedicated to getting you back on your feet, pain-free. Conveniently located at the 2410 Hog Mountain Road in Watkinsville, Georgia. We're here to take you to the next step towards better foot health. Call Dr. Donovan Gowdy and his staff today at 706-312-4288 or visit our website at www.georgiapodiatrycenter.com. The Foot and Ankle Treatment Center, because your feet deserve the best care.
Hi, I'm Keisha B. Rouse, owner of Crowning Tier Group. I know how overwhelming finances can feel, especially when you're trying to grow a business or manage it all on your own. That's why we offer bookkeeping, tax strategy, and real support year-round. We're not just number crunchers, we're partners in your success. Visit crowningtiergroup.com or call 706-705-1644 to schedule your free consultation. Or feel free to drop by our office at 29 North Main Street, Suite 3, Watkinsville, Georgia, 30677.
You're still here with Education Matters, the official voice of the youth, celebrating 15 years. My name is Aiden Stevens, and joining me in the studio are
Aiden Dowdy
and Joshua Henderson.
But before we jump back into today's show, Aiden will introduce our guest and ask the essential question.
Our guest today, and still is Tiffany Taylor, and we were talking about the community and youth involvement. So, Miss Taylor, here on Education Matters, ask all of our guests this essential question, which is, why does education matter to you?
Education matters to me because without education, you really can't do much. I feel like as African Americans, our ancestors fought so hard for our education, for us to be able to receive the type of equal education, for us to go as hard, for us, African American women to be the 92%. Education is everything. In whatever you choose to do, learn about it, breathe it in, practice it. Practice make perfect.
Disclaimer: practice will never make perfect. Practice will make better. There is no such thing as perfect on the green and blue planet that we live on.
Well, that's what you think. That's just what you
That is a plain fact. That's not what I think. That's a fact.
Well, do you have anything else you would like to add?
I think the higher you can go in education, you should go. The more you can learn, and not just arithmetic, but in all aspects of life. Learn. It's important.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And now Aiden shall have our closer.
Thank you for listening to Education Matters, the official voice of the youth. Education Matters is sponsored by Drug Free Athens, helping to prevent substance abuse by youth. Ellison's Professional Services. When it comes to your tax return, go with who you know. Ellison's Professional Services. And MEURadioAthens.com. If you missed any portion of this program or would like to hear it again, it can be heard Monday at 5:30 p.m. or Tuesday at 10 a.m. on MEURadioAthens.com.
Education Matters is a production of the High School Completion Initiative.
This news segment is sponsored by the Clarke County School District. With the new school year already underway, the class of 2026 was greeted with an unsuspected gift. This school year, every graduating high school senior in Clarke County School District will receive an $1,000 investment portfolio and receive financial education through a partnership between the district and nonprofit organizations, Gifted Savings and TED-Ed. Students will have access to their personal account on the Gifted Savings app, complete lessons on saving and investing their money. Once students turn 18 years old and complete the program, they'll have full ownership over their account. Students will also share what they have learned at a TEDx event at the end of the year. The $1.2 million gift from the anonymous donor will fund the first year of student portfolios and includes the match committed for year 2. The Athens Area Chamber of Commerce, Athens Area Community Foundation, and many other local leaders pledged to raise the remaining funds to sustain Gifted Savings in Clarke County through at least 2030. This news segment is sponsored by the Clarke County School District. Ever wonder who your child's playing video games online with? According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, a mother from DeKalb County filed a lawsuit against the Roblox Corporation, alleging her 9-year-old son was groomed on the platform by adults pretending to be children. The case was filed on Monday, August 4th. According to the complaint, the child was coerced into sending sexually explicit photos after being contacted by adults on Roblox. The lawsuit argues that Roblox's platform enables abuse by allowing unrestricted communication between users, failing to verify ages, and more. Roblox offers parents parental controls on the platform to manage how children engage and interact on their platform, allowing the parent to manage their children's screen time, content maturity, and more.